and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. This week on location here in Toronto at the Vista launch. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
I should say Vista launch, but it's the Vista business launch.
Right, the consumer launch is going to be out in January. Right now they're just licensing it out to volume customers and to enterprise customers.
So what's the story with these sunglasses?
I don't know, I think these are supposed to protect us from something or other.
Microsoft PR perhaps.
Perhaps. Or maybe
Anyway.
it's like to help us see the world through rose-colored glasses.
There you go. So today we talked to all the key people who were here at the launch to talk to us about Vista launch and of course Office 2007 and Exchange 2007 too. So this is a jam-packed thing. As usual, you're going to go behind the camera.
Yes.
And I'm going to stay in front of the camera and we're going to blab a bit.
Yeah, a lot.
About Vista. So let's take a break, and when we come back,
Head straight
interviews.
into it, yes.
Vista-a-palooza. Well, we're here with Phil Sorgen of Microsoft Canada. You're the president, of course, of the organization.
Yes, thank you.
So big day for you today. I mean, Windows Vista launches, Microsoft Office 2007, and I guess Exchange Server as well.
Right. No, this is a very exciting day, and whenever you have this kind of wave of innovation, it's a boost to our whole, to all of our employees. It's also something very exciting to our partner community, who are a great asset to us, as well as have a vibrant business and are creating IP right here in Canada around our technologies.
Absolutely. So there's a business focus today. Of course, the consumer launch of Vista, I guess, will happen end of January.
January 30th,
right?
yes.
Right. So how are you framing this today? I mean, compared, because it seems to me like a bit of a soft launch to me.
Well, today is the day that the technology is available, and you're right. It's not. It won't be available to all of our customers today, but for the business customers, the technology's ready, and we're ready to bring it to market and introduce it. So when you think about that, there's a couple of scenarios. If I could just kind of frame why our customers are excited and why we push to get this out, even if it's in a staggered release, because we spent so much time with customers on this release, listening to what they wanted, and there were three scenarios really that they gave us that were really important to them that affect how the kinds of workplace or the workplace they're in. And one was how we simplify how people work together.
Right.
The second one is how they help their employees find information and gain business insight or gain insight into that information. Right. And the third is they're getting so much information. How do they protect and manage that content?
Right. So I hear, and from a consumer perspective, I hear finding data.
Yes.
I hear security. Yep. And what's the third piece?
The third piece is the working collaboratively. And if you think of the consumer scenario for that, because there's an important one, is think of how many people communicate through with family members or other people around the world, friends, through communication technologies.
Right. Now I know that you guys, you talked about in the launch the number of testers you had. I mean, in beta 2 or the betas you released, you said 5 million
beta users.
Right.
So it's the most tested product we've ever brought to market. Now, interestingly, in the development, is the product ready? Are we ready to bring it to market?
Well, and that's been the big question on everybody's mind, because I mean, we've seen this very fast acceleration this year towards the launch, and then some things about moving dates and that sort of thing. So is it ready?
So it's here, it's ready. We would not have released this product if it wasn't ready for our customers. And as I said, we've had 5 million people helping test it. Now, the interesting, let me throw $1 billion out there. Okay. This is also the most collaborative development we've ever had with our customers. We had over 1 billion end user sessions go into the design and as to what capabilities and functionality would be in this set of products.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, what do you think, like from a business, what's the killer app in business, and looking forward to January, what's going to be the killer app, do you think, for consumers?
Well, for business, the killer app we think is the capability to find information. So pervasive search search is one example of something that's really important and to be able to drive not only find the information on their PC but across their company and across the internet. Also, the ability to secure and manage that content for business we think is really important. So whether it's technologies for business like BitLocker or other things that really ensure that if a laptop disappears, their corporate data doesn't go with it. The other thing for business, if I could touch on one more killer app, that would be the ability to capture the knowledge within an organization. I mean, as we know, there's a lot of people in Canada. Conference Board of Canada said that Canadians the number of Canadians that will be over 65 and in retirement age within the next 2 decades exceeds Western Europe, US, or most other parts of the world. And how you capture that information is really, really important so that it's available for the next generation of workers. For the consumers, we've put in tremendous media center capabilities. We're driving further how you can look at pictures and enjoy audio content and make this the hub of your home from a standpoint of all the kinds of entertainment you may drive.
Fabulous. So this is available for business right now and into January for consumers.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to see you.
Thanks.
Well, I'm here with Emma De Silva, and you are the General Manager of the Information Worker Group at Microsoft.
Yes, I am.
So tell me, you've been around, I guess, for the Office 2003 launch?
Yes, I was.
And so this must be a huge, I mean, how different is that for the 2007 product?
It's tremendously different. I mean, these products were built from the ground up to really amplify the impact that people can make to make businesses more successful.
Right.
I mean, the world of work is even changing.
Yeah.
The pressures on businesses today are becoming much more impactful in terms of people's productivity, in terms of simplifying the way people work together, in terms of the transparency and regulatory issues that companies are facing. And really, these technologies are built from ground up to help businesses amplify the impact people can make to be able to respond to those key business challenges.
So you say ground up, so you cleared the code completely, you started scratch, and you built Office from the ground up, is that true?
Well, what it is really, it's about starting to go back out to customers and get an appetite for what it is that they're actually using. How are they using the technology today? You know, over 1 billion user sessions over the last few years, just to see how people are actually using the technology and figuring out ways that we can improve.
But does that mean you had to start from scratch?
No, I think it's about continuing that innovation, right? So it's not always looking back on time and saying what have we done, but making sure we're keeping pace with what's current, what's new, what's the impact of how technology and people are interacting so that we can improve the experience, we can improve the productivity, add the collaboration capabilities that we need to for people today.
So, in the bullet points where you say this is what's new with 2007, Office 2007, what are the key 3 bullet points you would talk about?
It's really, the role of software in this case is to help simplify how people work together.
Right, okay, simplification.
Really help protect and manage content.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
That's very interesting. Okay, so manage content and it's interactive between the different applications within Office, is that true?
And across the platform of businesses. When
Okay,
you think about information, it can be pervasively anywhere in the organization, whether it's online in business applications or within documents created in the Office tools itself.
Right.
Third, what we're really helping people do is find information much more quickly. Deluge of information. How do you get them to find the right information at the right time
On
to
their
draw better
desktop
insight?
and also across the organization as well?
It's important to do it on the desktop, on the intranet, or within the corporate environment, and also on the web.
Right.
So we need to really extend the ability for people to get that information and get it quickly when they need it.
So this is obviously a business launch, but consumers are out there listening and going, okay, so what can I get from this? So what would you tell consumers? What's the consumer vote message within this business launch?
Well, consumers will also benefit from the productivity gains, but today we're focused on really the business availability for our business customers and really talking about what our customers, as you've seen here today, have been able to realize in terms of the benefits of these technologies.
Right. So key message?
Key message for us is that these technologies will continue to innovate, and these are built from ground up, really to amplify people and the impact that they can help businesses in terms of driving success.
Very good. So I'm here with Jill Schoolenberg, your General Manager of the Windows platform
Yes.
for Microsoft Canada.
Yes.
So this is a pretty big day for you guys. I mean, Vista's been, 5 years in the making?
Well, it's a huge day for us. We've actually launched 3 new product lineups today: Windows Vista, the 2007 Office system, and Exchange Server 2007.
Right.
Actually, Vista has been quite a while in the making, but we did actually have an interim release of Windows XP2. We had that about 2 years ago.
Right.
And so this is our next launch since then.
Right.
Yep.
But really a revolution in terms of the operating system. I mean, I've been playing with it now for 6 months, and I got to say, it's very, very different from the XP experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the minute you boot up your machine, you'll actually see what the differences are. One of the greatest features is being able to find and search your information. So you can just go to the search bar. You can search any kind of documentation that you have. But as well, you don't have to be as familiar with the interface or how to get to things. The search is actually embedded into the operating system now. So if you just go in there, you can find how to add a printer easily or how to connect your device. We also have a mobility center. So if you have synchronization of devices, a lot of that stuff just happens automatically. But it empowers the user to decide whether they want to do it or not. But it's much easier to use.
And you've done a lot of work on security too, right?
Right,
You know, so let's talk a bit about that.
So in terms of for enterprises, we're launching something today, which is part of it. It's called BitLocker, which is full drive encryption. One of the big issues that a lot of companies have with all their mobile workforces is people are always losing PCs.
Right. Yeah. Laptops go astray at airports and things like that with company secrets on them, right?
Absolutely, and a lot of times we find the most data is actually currently stored on people's hard drives and on their PCs. And laptops go missing in cabs, laptops get stolen, laptops get stuck in airports. And what we find is that has important information. That could have your HR system on it. That could have your payroll information. And with the security guidelines and privacy guidelines in Canada, you don't want that information getting out there.
Right.
So with BitLocker Drive encryption, it fully encrypts your hard drive so that if your machine is lost, you don't have to worry about those secrets getting out.
So if you can't log on to Windows, then you can't get that data at all.
That's right. That's right.
Oh wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And what are the benefits for business then? What are business going to be looking at in Vista?
So I think again a lot of it's going to be around in terms of the mobility and empowering workers when they're on the road, between the everything from better power saving and feature attributes to the security and encryption that we provide on the drives. And importantly, finding and using that information and making it simple and easy and relevant for them to do.
So laptop culture is about to change with Vista?
I would think so. I think for the enterprises that the IT administrators are worried about, who's going where with what data and when, those individuals will have much more confidence and control that they know that their information is secure. And for folks like you and I who are out there working every day, it's going to be faster, more seamless, more integrated, just a better, easier user experience.
What about connectivity with corporate networks versus your traditional home? Because of course, as a knowledge worker, you're going back and forth between the two places.
Right.
Is Vista easily portable? Does it recognize the corporate network against sort of home network or whatever?
Absolutely, and in fact, it makes it very easy to automatically detect what networks are available. You can set up your home network, you can set up your work network, and again, getting back to the security features, if you set up to a public network and define it, it limits some of your activities so that, in case you're on a network that's not secure, it prevents that from coming onto your machine. So you can connect safely and securely and reliably and not worry about what could happen.
So is this going to be your big marketing push when you talk to businesses? It's all about security and mobility. Is those the two things you're going to say, listen, you need to listen to these 2 bullet points because that's important. We think it's important for you guys, and that's what you've told is important for us.
Well, definitely security and mobility and information sharing and simplicity, and obviously working with the other products we launched today. A lot of the other improvements too, we've made it a lot easier for people to actually deploy and use our software. It's a single image now, so if you're running tablets and regular PCs or laptops, if you're running English and French, you can actually deploy a single image. So a lot of the barriers that have been around sort of using and deploying and managing your environment, we've removed the barriers and we've made it much better for control.
So available immediately would be Vista Enterprise, Vista Small Business, and
Vista Enterprise and Vista the volume licensing for businesses. Those are available right now.
Right.
Customers can download them off the net or acquire them through their licensing programs.
Very good. And Exchange 2007 and Office available immediately as well?
Exchange 2007, I think we're about 5 days away from that, so we're really close. And the 2007 Office system is also available today.
Very good. And to business and consumers?
Today's the business launch.
Only.
Yeah, we'll be back in January to talk to you further about the consumer launch. So today's really about our enterprise SKUs.
Super.
We're launching.
Thank you, Jill.
Thanks.
Pleasure. I'm I'm here with Nami Hawk from, he's an analyst with Infotech. So thanks for joining me today.
No problem. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what's your impression of today? I mean, to me, it seems like a great big noisy thing of the precursor of what's to come. Even though it's a business launch, I feel like, it's sort of like a warm-up.
Well, I think you're right. Certainly today is a big day for Microsoft. It's a huge announcement. All three of these products are eventually, in the long run, going to be adopted by all business users. That being said, in talking to Infotech clients and just looking at some of the issues involved, we don't expect to see a large impact on the market for another 12 to 18 months or so.
Is that traditional? Is that, do companies sort of wait for Microsoft's basically the first service pack to come out before they adopt a new operating system?
That's exactly what we're recommending to clients, is wait until Service Pack 1 comes out. It might be Q3 2007, Q4. That'll let you have a more stable operating system. It'll also give you an opportunity to test some of the applications for compatibility, develop training plans, develop a migration strategy, look at some of the licensing implications.
Did Microsoft, seems to me like they kind of rushed this to market. I mean, they would say different, but do you think they did?
I don't know that they rushed it to market. We've been waiting 5 years or so since XP to see this operating system, so I think it's well timed. But like I said, there are certainly issues that enterprises are going to have to look at. So start planning for it now. Maybe not deploy it for another year or so.
So what's interesting is, there's going to be people out there, who are consumers, who are gadget freaks, or they're big IT guys at home, and they're going to have their first experience with Vista at work, perhaps.
I think you're probably going to see the opposite. I think the consumer uptake is going to be a lot faster than the enterprise uptake.
But even though we're like 60 days out from the consumer launch, that's what I'm saying.
Even still, I think you're going to see consumers adopted a lot before enterprises. Consumers don't really buy operating systems, they buy PCs, and so as they're buying new PCs, they're going to get that operating system pushed to them, whereas enterprises have to consciously make that decision, and I think that decision for the majority of enterprises is going to be quite a long, farther way out than in the consumer market.
So let me take you through the three products that were launched today,
Sure.
and we're going to do a thumbs up, thumbs down on as far as if you think this product's going to do well in the marketplace. So Windows Vista, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Do well in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Or are we talking enterprise or consumer here?
Enterprise.
Enterprise? I think, I don't know, give them can we give them a halfway?
We can give it halfway. All right.
Yeah.
What about consumers for Vista?
Consumers, I think we're going to see a thumbs up
Yeah?
in Vista.
They're gonna love it.
I think they are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool factor there. The Aero interface, and consumers are going to buy PCs that are Vista Premium ready. They're going to have the video cards. They're going to get a lot of.
You get a lot of buzz. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
What about Office?
Office, I think initially thumbs down, but it's going to be a slow turning upward. There's going to be a lot of initial pain, but long-term gain. Some of these usability things that they're pushing out, for power users especially, it's going to annoy the hell out of them. They're used to their file menus and their drop-downs. But in the long term, it's going to turn a lot of non-power users into power users, because they're going to see this new functionality, these new features.
Is it really better designed as they said in the launch?
I think it is.
It is.
I'll give you a funny example. My wife at home, I put Office at home just to try it out, and she loves it. She's like, oh wow, look at all these great things. I can push this button and this happens, and all these things are readily available to me. Me, on the other hand, as a power user, I'm used to knowing where to find stuff, and I'm finding it really frustrating. But in the end, we're going to see it normalizing, and I think in the end, the usability benefits will come out on top.
And finally, Exchange Server 2007.
I think that's a big thumbs up in the long run. Like I said, the unified messaging is huge. That being said, it's going to cause a lot of pain for enterprises that want to deploy it. Companies that we talk to, they might still be running Exchange 5, Exchange 2000, 2003. They're going to have to consolidate all those platforms. They're going to have to upgrade potentially to 64-bit. So it's going to be costly. It's going to be resource intensive. But I think in the end, it's also going to pack the biggest punch for companies that need that unified messaging.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
It's Camtasia Studio, the fabulous screencast software from TechSmith. Record what's on your screen, narrate it, and share it online. Create demos, screencasts, training, and more. And rest assured, Camtasia Studio is made by wholesome programmers in Okemos, Michigan, the home of the hardiest geeks around.
Quick to learn, easy to use, it's Camtasia.
Download your free trial and start screencasting today.
So your impressions, I mean, we've heard from all the pundits. What do you think? Vista?
Well, you know what? If you recall, episode 0, which we did about a year ago,
Yeah.
we were sitting there doing this, and we came to about the same conclusion as your analyst did just a few seconds ago. So, am I convinced that this is going to be big or not? I really don't know at this point.
I think people are going to go, especially the geek world and people that are the Windows enthusiasts, are going to go gaga over this product. I think it's going to be an enormously successful launch initially. Now the question is, will it live up to the promises, which is a secure operating system? Is this search function, the new kind of spotlight type Apple, function that we've seen in Vista, is that going to work well? And so far in the released copy that I've seen, not so much. I mean, there is some major flaws in this operating system. It really isn't what it should have been. However, that said, it's pretty damn good.
They'll fix it. Well, the general rule is that Microsoft products don't really get good until at least Service Pack 1.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bugs that have to get squashed, and so it may take a little while, and that's generally why enterprise customers don't pick it up on the first version of any operating system.
That's true.
And that's, again, a reason, again, your analyst was saying that the consumers will probably pick this up first, and I think that's true because especially with enterprise customers, they have it's like having a gigantic transport truck. It takes them so long to turn the thing around into something new that a lot of them have just actually adopted XP within the last couple of years, and that's already been after 5 years.
Right.
So I can see the same thing happening from a business perspective here, which is a little bit weird that it's come out with the business version first. But
I think this is Microsoft's soft launch for Vista. I think that they had to get it out there to meet their commitments. I think they bought themselves some time with the launch, and we will really see the big splash, the great big event. I mean, there was 50 people in the room, 100 people in the room today.
There's a bunch.
When they launched the consumer version of Vista at the end of January, we're going to see a big, massive effort. So, but nice to have a preview of the product, and it's a look at things to come.
Yeah, there's really nothing new that was launched today, obviously, because we've been talking about this for the longest time with Vista. It's not a huge amount of difference with what we saw today, but we'll see. We'll see. I guess the big question now, more than anything else, we know what the features are, we have for a while, is whether people are going to go for it.
Right, absolutely. Well, there you go. If you have comments or want to express your opinion about Vista, go to our forums at forums.cyberwalker.com. We share that with cyberwalker.com. And otherwise, send us feedback at feedback@liveras.tv.
Yeah, tell people or us how much you like Andy's sunglasses here.
You like this? Yeah, isn't that great?
I can't see a thing.
All right, well, that's it for us. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.